Okay, welcome. Oh, poop. Couldn't see myself. I need to see myself when I'm doing this, otherwise I'm talking to a camera and that bugs me out. Alright, welcome to the very first official robot repair bay. It's going to be my customs section of my video channel. And sorry for all the rumbling around, there's a bunch of kids running around upstairs. Anyway, this will be my the place where we're going to work on customs together. We're going to maybe fix some things, little things here and there. We'll do, maybe 10-15 minute sessions, and that way you can kind of see my thought process and work on some things, with me. And so rather than just drag it out, we're going to get into a topic that I've been thinking about for a little bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to do with the trailer, because as I explained in the last video, in the unboxing video that I did, that is kind of changing. I think I've done the majority of the work that I'm going to do on that. I know I said I was going to finish it. Well, it's just my whole balloon was completely deflated when I found out there was some products already out there over the past couple years during my hiatus. So that, but it's a good thing. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm satisfied. I'm happy. We're good. But why we're here today is I'm really, really excited to talk about this. And so let's not beat around the bush and let's get started. Here's what we're going to be talking about today. And you know what I just realized? They're green. I'm sure this is going to be a problem. So let's go ahead and take these down and talk about them without the dual screen at the moment. Okay, so we're not going to do the green screen stuff today because these are going to create a problem for that. So what these are is obviously Toy World's, what do they call it, constructor or whatever. I picked these up because I was super excited about them. They fit the aesthetic that I want. They, as far as the masterpiece is concerned with my collection, they're big, they're bulky, they just hit every note for me when it comes to their vehicle modes and their robot modes, and then also combined mode. And each one of them has their own intricacies. They have their own problems, and those are well documented. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go through each one of them and just fix the minor things on each one of them before they break or cause any major problems down the road. And we're going to do those, I hope, during these type of sessions. But that's not the big problem I have with these. If any of my subscribers or anybody who's been following me or has watched any of my Devastator videos from the Revenge of the Fallen custom I did, I have one major pet peeve. And that's when things don't have a place to go. I don't like drawer parts. And so this is not the problem. This is the problem. A bunch of parts that have no place to go. This just bothers the snot out of me. I can't stand this. I mean, I know the G1 stuff did it, but okay, don't hate me, but I'm not a big fan of the G1 aesthetic because of the parts. Yes, it was a different time. Yes, it was, older, and the engineering hadn't, completely impressed yet. But this is a major, major problem for me, especially in today's day and age. I could have gone with the Generation Toy Devastator. I could have done it. I could have gone with Hercules. I could have done it. But I didn't do it because this just hits all the right buttons for me except one, and it's major, but that's why we're here today. Is I feel like we can make this into something, and I feel like we can integrate it into something else. With that said, here's the next thing I want to kind of talk with you guys about. What your thoughts are, and this is what my thought process is. So, with all these extra parts here, I'm thinking of integrating another vehicle. I don't know how it's going to work. I think it's going to work okay, and I want to share this with you, and here's my thought process. Right here. This is the KO version of TFC's Defensor or hydrant figure, right? This is the hydrant fire truck that they made. It's bigger, it's chunkier, and it actually is in perfect scale with constructor. Specifically, as an example, let me show you this as far as scale is concerned. Look at this. I mean, that is on the money scale. And I'm a huge scale nut. That's another major reason why I got this version, is because it fits the scale that I want. I wanted it for my masterpiece line. So, my thinking here is that this particular figure here is frankly junk. But I think we can make it better. I think what we can do is, I want to make this into a truck with a trailer, okay? And that trailer, now, think about this with me. Right here, this is the major piece. All the rest can be integrated, okay? This is the major piece. So let's think about it this way. If we take the trailer, or the hip section here, and do this number, you know what? I haven't done this enough. Okay, we stretch it out completely, right? And then we do this, flatten it out, and then we flatten this out, right? We get it to a point where it looks flat on either side. Did this not? Okay. Maybe. There we go. That's better. That's much better. That's what I want. Okay. So you flatten this out. You get it close, right? Okay. Flatten this out. Now, picture with me this. You have something with these pieces sitting like this, or something similar, okay? Connecting them. And imagine wheels being down here, okay? Or just imagine for a second where, you know, if this here was the trailer itself with a flatbed here and two wheels here, instead of sitting up on here, right? Because that might be a little too tall. These could actually be the generators, you know, a lot like Make Toys did. I thought that was brilliant. I actually really like that. So these could be generators that get towed behind the figures, a couple of them of my choice. So that's an option. So I think that might be the best way to do it, because then this won't be too high. We could probably integrate you know, the hands up underneath here, or, you know, up top, or somewhere else in the truck, right? But this reminds me of one of those articulated dump trucks like Overload was in Revenge of the Fallen. And specifically, this section up under here could be the dump section. And it actually would look the part. I'm convinced of it. And it creates an accessory that would all come apart and be useful for the truck, right? And that's what I'm thinking. These hands, you know, we'll have to figure out where they might go, but that's not an issue. This won't be an issue. I mean, this whole truck, I mean, it disassembles. So we don't need the ladder anymore because it's not going to be a fire truck anymore. Come on. So that comes off. This comes off. These come off. And we're left with a piece here that when done, I mean, this whole, it's a simple transformation, right? And it's super chunky. And these whole big giant, and this would, the aesthetic would fit with Devastator, you know? The joints in here are just garbage, by the way. I mean, we'd have to fix this major. But you know how this thing looked, right? You know, these things go, you've seen the reviews, okay? So as far as the aesthetic goes with this compared to the other team, it would fit if you can imagine it being green or purple or a combination of the two, right? It could totally work. You know, maybe the front end of this truck is going to be, you know, too fire truckish for some people's tastes. But I mean, oh man, these joints are terrible. Ugh. I mean, look in here. Look right in here. See how this thing works? The ratchet right here is on this flimsy piece of plastic that, watch this. Look, it's not even ratcheting anymore. It's toast. This one here, I mean, there's nothing going on here. Anyway, so that's kind of my thinking, guys. What are your thoughts? I've got to head off to a Labor Day cookout right now, so I don't have a whole lot of time to go any further with this video. But I mean, what are your thoughts? You know, you think that this is going to be a good project? Do you think that the community would like it? You know, if I can come up with something that is relatively easy to put together and then integrate into another vehicle, or even just a trailer, right? I mean, even if it's just a trailer or some sort of unit that makes sense as to why it would be separate during robot modes and vehicle modes or whatever, you know, I feel like the community would just really like that. But first things first is we have to fix the toy world problems. And we might get into those in maybe some of my reviews. That way we can sequentially establish what the problems are in a review scenario, and then we can address them later in a custom video. So I think this is going to be one of my next customs, and we'll work on it together. You know, that's kind of my thought of these videos. So, you know, we'll do 15-20 minute sessions working on them, maybe half an hour, because, you know, once I get into a groove, I keep going. And from there, we will get started. We'll start using some of these tools. My Dremel is broken, but I got to get a new Dremel. But once we have that, we're gonna be ready to go. So, hey, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And I hope you're excited about my thought process and what I'm thinking. But we do have a lot of things to fix with this guy. This guy needs a lot of help. But aesthetically, it fits right in there with a scrapper. It fits right in with, you know, all the people. It fits right in with all the robots. And, you know, maybe this chest piece can be a little different in order to make it look more Devastator-ish instead of Defensor-ish or Hotspot-ish. You know, that's my thinking. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you have any ideas, anything that you think I should try or consider, you know, let's talk about it. That's not really working that well, is it?
Go on.